Well, the end of another amazing and fantastic college football season. I want to take a couple of minutes this afternoon before the game tonight to acknowledge what an amazing and fantastic college football season it has been indeed. All the way around. A lot of disappointment out there, and that's what being a college football fan really is all about, is disappointment, because right now there's only two teams that haven't experienced some sort of disappointment up until this point. And some could even say even the two teams playing tonight at some point in the season experienced some sort of disappointment. But tonight is the Super Bowl of our sport. This is what we wait all year for. It doesn't matter if you're a TCU Horned Frog fan. It doesn't matter if you're a Georgia Bulldog fan. All that really matters is that you're a college football fan. That's all that really matters. Shout out to both these teams, man. Amazing seasons. I mean, Georgia defending national champ. Back in it again as a heavy favorite to win it back-to-back for the first time since Saban did it back in the early 2010s. It's extremely hard to, look, it's extremely hard to win one national championship. How much harder it is to win back-to-back compared just to one is astronomical. It's the reason you don't see it very often. And honestly, the way that things are moving with all the changes that are happening, and we'll get into some of those changes. Some of them I like, some of them I don't. But anyway, as far as the transfer portal, the NIL thing, the conference realignment, the expansion of the playoffs, there's a million and one different things that are all happening at once. I think it's going to be even harder in the future to do what Georgia has a chance to do tonight. And several other teams have had a chance to do this in the playoff era. Clemson, been several times in a row, won a couple, had chances to repeat, wasn't able to do it. Same thing with Alabama. Alabama in the playoff era, unable to repeat, go back-to-back. So my point is it's extremely difficult to do what Georgia's done, especially in the time frame that they've done it in having a new coach. I know it's been a while now, but most of the time it takes more than 2 or 3 years from implementing a new head coach like Georgia did to start competing for titles. So congratulations to them on that. If they do pull out the victory tonight, we will be witnessing a history in the making. If TCU wins tonight, we will also be witnessing history in the making. Nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, outside of maybe 3 people in Texas who are just delusional people who think this every year anyway, thought that TCU was going to be a one-loss team heading into a national championship tonight. Nobody. But throughout the year, they just kept winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. And eventually got, caught slipping, lost the game. But they just kept winning, finding a way to win. They did the same thing in the playoff game against Michigan. Backs against the wall, found a way to win. Can they find a way to win tonight? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But I'll tell you one thing. As long as you've got that quarterback, Max Duggan, leading this offense, they're always going to be at least in it. Now, you're in it until you're not in it anymore. TCU's defense is going to have a handful tonight, too, with Georgia's offense. But it's just been a great season all around. And like I said, most of us fans have experienced some sort of disappointment. It doesn't really matter who you're rooting for tonight. You're probably rooting for them for a certain reason. I don't really care who wins. I guess I'm going to pull for the Horned Frogs because they're the underdog. It would be a great story, which leads me to my next point. The point that people have been talking about how broken the 4-team playoff system is since this thing started, and you always hear the same complaints. Well, first of all, you start with the we need an expanded playoffs. You hear a lot of other 12 teams, 16 teams, 24 teams. Hell, basketball does 64. Why can't we do 64? Blah, blah, blah. But there's been a lot of criticisms about the 4-team playoff system. And one of the main criticisms is it's always the same teams every year. We're getting tired, sick and tired of seeing Clemson and Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State and Oklahoma every year in the playoffs. I know every once in a while you get a Big Ten, like a Michigan State that one year. There's always these outliers, right? But they're tired of seeing same teams every year, same teams win it. The same teams don't win it every year. Just go back and look. Going back to what I was saying earlier about Georgia, if they repeat now, it'll be the first time in the playoff era. So the same teams don't win it every year. And there's been something like 5 different champions in the past 6 championship years. Something like that. But TCU really killed that narrative for all of them now. Oh, a team like TCU got no shot to get in with a loss. Here we are. Not only did they get in, they won. So the point being that TCU's amazing regular season, every game mattered, is part of what made the season so spectacular as a whole. And with the expansion of the playoffs, which is inevitable, right? We know it's going to happen 2024 most likely. Most likely it's going to be 12 teams. How that all looks, we don't know yet. Buys, all that doesn't matter. My point is, if you look at the top 12 teams at the end of championship week this year, after the conference championships were played, how many of those 12 teams do you think had a chance to be playing in this game tonight? I'll give you a hint. It's a round number, and it rhymes with hero. That's right, 0. So it'd all be pomp and circumstance, and everybody can pat themselves on the back for making the playoffs in the 12-team system. Maybe it'll increase TV ratings. Maybe it'll increase excitement around the sport. I don't know. There's a lot of different things. There's positives and negatives here. So don't get me wrong. I'm not totally against it. And it doesn't really matter if I'm against it anyway, because I'm going to be the old man screaming at the clouds because it's happening. But I want to take that last opportunity. We only got this year and most likely next year left with the 4-team system. So I'm going to take every opportunity that I possibly can this year and next season to point out all the reasons why the 4-team system is great and it doesn't need changed, in my humble opinion. Anyway, I will be live tonight for the game around 7:30. I don't know what they got going on, probably a 30-minute pregame. I don't know when kickoff is, but I'll be live on YouTube around 7:30. I'll be hanging around till the end of the game. Hopefully it's a good one. Good luck to both teams. Hey, what a great season, everybody. No matter what happens tonight. What a great season on YouTube. What a great season in college football. We saw some of the best games. Starting from week 1, the Florida State, or week 0, wherever the hell they call it now, the Florida State and LSU game to start the season out was just an absolute banger, and it just got better and better and better every week, all the way through bowl season. It's been a great year, and I hope for a great one tonight. I'll see all of y'all later. Your boy checking out.